It's been a scary few days for the Usos and for the entire bloodline in general. So let's take a look at everything that's going down. It's no secret at all that the bloodline has a lot of splits and cracks in it right now more than ever. Looking back, it appears that the last time the bloodline was truly united and didn't have any issues was maybe between the time frame of War Games and right before the Royal Rumble. During that period for the bloodline, Roman Reigns had no issues with the Usos. The main focal point of Roman's attention at the time was trying to figure out just how loyal Sami was to the bloodline. That was Roman's biggest concern and the only true worry that he had, and the bloodline really had. But War Games was the night they once again solved all their issues. Sami Zayn proved his loyalty by attacking Kevin Owens. Sami won them the match, and Jey finally embraced Sami Zayn. It was the perfect climax moment of just peace coming back to the bloodline. But as we know, the peace didn't last long. Roman was still all over Sami Zayn, and that led to the big moment of Roman Reigns crossing the line at Royal Rumble when he asked Sami Zayn to strike Kevin Owens with a chair. Sami's argument was that hitting Kevin with a chair was pointless because Roman already won the match and didn't have anything left to prove. But Roman wanted to keep inflicting pain on Kevin Owens, and when Sami stopped him, Roman told Sami to do it instead. And when we talked about cracks in the bloodline, this is the exact pinpoint moment right here that truly broke the bloodline. Sami strikes Roman with the chair, which absolutely rips Jey Uso apart. Jey knew deep down in his heart that Sami was right and agreed with him, but he knew that he had to stand with his family as well. So that really made him conflicted, and that's when Jey walked out on Roman Reigns and the bloodline. So Sami Zayn was now gone from the bloodline, and Jey Uso went mysteriously missing for weeks. Jey was refusing Roman's calls and demands, and continued his walkout, which made Roman once again cross the line. Roman then threatened to harm Jimmy Uso if Jey didn't return, and Jey obviously cares about his twin brother more than anything else. So after Roman made that threat, Jey was back in a heartbeat. But even though Jey was physically there and back with the bloodline in that sense, Jey was still not fully back with the bloodline from an emotional and mental state at all. Not even close. And that's something Roman quickly figured out. He figured that Jey only came back in order to protect Jimmy, and not because he actually wanted to be back with the bloodline. And once Jimmy found out about Roman's threat towards him, Jimmy was even fuming at Roman too, because he thought it was extremely unfair for him to be nothing but loyal to Roman Reigns, but have to pay the consequences for Jey's actions. So that's the main backstory to Roman's issues with the Usos right now. It all stems from that night at Royal Rumble. So there was already this massive tension there between Roman Reigns and the Usos before WrestleMania. That was being masked up with tons of manipulation and gaslighting. But what happened next just made things so much worse that Roman couldn't even put on a fake smile anymore. And that was, of course, the Usos losing the undisputed tag team titles in the main event of WrestleMania. The Usos would come out that following night to assist Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes. But other than that moment, Roman Reigns and the Usos have not been face-to-face with each other since before the Usos lost the tag team titles. Even though there was tension there, Roman was still trying to overlook it because they still had all their gold. But once the Usos lost their gold, Roman Reigns had pretty much softly disowned them. He avoided seeing them on the Raw after WrestleMania, and he did not show up to several shows after that, just fully cutting off communication with them. And like the Usos said on Smackdown, they confirmed that they had no contact at all with Roman Reigns since before WrestleMania. No texts, no emails, no calls, no anything at all between themselves and Roman. And in the last few weeks, it looks like Paul Heyman has been Roman's eyes and ears on the Usos and everything that they're up to. And also for several weeks now, the Usos have been completely left out of the loop on several bloodline-related things. Things such as Roman's deal with the Judgment Day. Roman, Heyman, and Solo knew about the deal. but not the Usos. And there's also been several teases of Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Roman Reigns having a secret backup plan that they have in store for the Usos. The audience sees the clues, everyone sees the clues, except for Jimmy and Jey Uso, who are in denial and still feel like they can fix things. But Jey seems to be a little more alert about what's happening over Jimmy Uso. Jimmy appears to be more laid back, thinking everything is gonna be okay and work out. But Jey Uso is the one that's viewing this situation through both lenses. Jey knows that if they do well and they get the tag team titles, then things could get better. But at the same time, Jey has felt Roman's wrath before. He can see the writing on the wall, and he can see that sense that something bad is coming. And this is some things that Sami's been trying to warn Jey about. Sami's had several backstage conversations with Jey over the last few weeks about the same similar things. Sami constantly tells Jey that it's not gonna end well and how they have to get out while they still can. And Jey may believe some of it, but it was Jimmy Uso who told Sami to leave them alone and go worry about Kevin Owens instead of Jey. And that leads us to the April 24th edition of Raw. There was one extremely interesting backstage segment where the Usos are sitting down on a couch, while Solo Sikoa stands over them from behind the couch. And even that shot alone could be some heavy symbolism and foreshadowing of what's to come. Solo Sikoa is the big threat that could be coming towards the Usos. But Jey turns to Jimmy and tells him that he's worried about what's going to happen to them if they don't win the tag team titles back during their Smackdown rematch. And if you go back and closely watch Jey when he says this, you can see that Jey even looks at Solo Sikoa through the corner of his eye, trying to make a signal to Jimmy Uso about what he's referring to. But Jimmy doesn't get the message and tells Jey that there's nothing to worry about. And that brings us to the April 28th edition of Smackdown that once again implied that there was actually a lot for the Usos to worry about. The first pick of the draft was the Bloodline, but specifically just Roman, Heyman, and Solo Sikoa. And telling by some of the commentary and other context clues, it sounds like this was a special request that came from Roman Reigns and Heyman. Since Roman is so disgusted with the Usos, he had Heyman pull a few strings to separate the Usos and have them get drafted on their own. That was Roman's personal request, just to have the chance to distance himself from them. And then we cut to Paul Heyman's usual manipulation tactics. Heyman tells the Usos that they are getting drafted tonight. They're getting drafted to the Island of Relevancy and how they have to win their match. But while Heyman is talking to the Usos, he's also handing over some tape to Solo Sikoa and telling him that tonight is the night. Then again, during the main event, Paul Heyman gets a call from Roman Reigns, giving Solo and Heyman the green light to go ahead with whatever their secret plan is for handling the Usos. But as Solo Sikoa is coming out to take care of the secret business, he gets attacked by Riddle, preventing him from going through with the plan. The Usos end up losing the title match, and Solo Sikoa looks on from the crowd in disgust. So even though the plan hasn't been revealed to us, the audience, we can basically put the pieces together and see that the plan was for Solo Sikoa to attack his brothers, Jimmy and Jey, officially kicking them out of the bloodline. That was literally moments away from happening, but the Usos were basically saved by Riddle. So with this draft situation, Roman's plan being interrupted and the Usos losing their rematch, it definitely seems like this situation is far from over and how scary hours could be coming to the Usos in the very near future. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.